She said, "I'm not cutting off my ex just because you're insecure." Fair point, I said. Accepted Amsterdam, the position I'd declined 3 times for her. She realized I was serious when she showed up at my apartment to work things out. The new tenant answered the door. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Throwaway account because, well, this story got a bit too real and I don't need the drama resurfacing. But if you're here for some karma-fueled relationship justice, buckle up. This is how my ex, Emily, basically handed me the keys to a better life on a silver platter of betrayal. AITA for finally putting myself first after years of being her emotional doormat? Spoiler, I don't think so. Let me start from the beginning, because context matters. I met Emily about 4 years ago at a mutual friend's birthday party in the city. She was this vibrant marketing grad, full of big dreams about climbing the corporate ladder, and I was just hitting my stride as a software engineer at a solid tech firm. We clicked instantly, shared laughs over bad karaoke, late-night talks about our ambitions. I fell hard, and she seemed to as well. Early on, she told me about her ex, Jake. They'd dated for 2 years in college, but it ended messy. He was the adventurous type, always chasing thrills like spontaneous road trips or quitting jobs on a whim. She painted him as unreliable, someone who left her feeling unstable. I, on the other hand, was the steady one. Reliable job, savings account, plans for the future. That's what she said she loved about me. Fast forward a bit, and I started making sacrifices without even realizing how one-sided it was. Emily hit a rough patch right after we got serious. Lost her entry-level job due to company downsizing, struggled with anxiety about her career. I stepped up. Covered her rent for a few months while she job hunted, helped her polish her resume, even connected her with some contacts in my network. She landed a decent gig in digital marketing eventually, and things seemed good. But that's when Jake started creeping back in. At first, it was innocent enough. A text here and there. Just checking in as friends, she'd say. I'd see his name pop up on her phone during movie nights, and she'd laugh it off. Oh, Jake's just sharing a funny meme from our old group chat. No big deal. But it escalated. She'd like his social media posts, pictures of him hiking in some exotic spot or at music festivals. Posts that screamed, "Look at my exciting life." I'd mention it casually, like, "Hey, it bothers me a bit that you're still so connected to your ex." Her response? Eye rolls and defensiveness. "Alex, don't be so insecure. Jake's just a friend now. We have history, but that's it." History. That word started to grate on me. I'd overhear bits of their calls, her giggling at his stories, venting to him about work stress instead of me. One night, after a long day, I found her scrolling through old photos on her phone. There was one of her and Jake at a beach, arms around each other, looking carefree. When I asked why she still had those, she snapped. Memories aren't something you delete just because someone new comes along. God, why are you always so paranoid? I wasn't paranoid. I was loyal, committed, and yeah, maybe a little naive. But I loved her, so I tried to trust. Meanwhile, my own career was taking off. About 2 years into our relationship, I got an offer from the company's Amsterdam office, a senior developer role with a fat salary bump, relocation package, the works. It was a dream, working on cutting-edge AI projects, living in Europe, exploring new cultures. But Emily was just starting to stabilize in her job, and she freaked out at the idea of moving. I can't uproot my life right now, Alex. What about my friends, my family? And Jake's here too. He's going through stuff, and I want to be around for that. Wait, what? Jake's stuff mattered more than our future? I turned it down. For her. She hugged me tight that night, whispering how much she appreciated it. You're my rock, Alex. I don't know what I'd do without you. But 6 months later, the offer came again. Same position, even better terms. Emily was in a good place by then, but she hesitated. Amsterdam sounds amazing, but I don't know if I'm ready for that big a change. And Jake just got dumped. He's a mess. I feel bad leaving everyone behind. Again, Jake. I declined a second time, telling myself it was for us. My boss was baffled. This is career suicide, man. Opportunities like this don't come often. The third offer hit last year. By then, things with Emily were strained. Her friendship with Jake had ramped up. Coffee meetups she downplayed as catching up, late-night texts she'd hide when I walked in the room. I'd catch her comparing us subtly. Jake's starting that adventure travel blog. It's so inspiring. Your job's great, but it's just predictable. It stung. I was the one paying bills, planning dates, being there through her lows. Yet I was predictable. When the Amsterdam email landed, I brought it up over dinner. Emily, this could be huge for us. Fresh start, better life. She sighed, twirling her fork. I get it, but I'm happy here. And honestly, if you're pushing this because you're jealous of Jake, that's on you. Jealous? Maybe a little, but it was more about respect. I wanted boundaries. Look, if we're serious, maybe tone down the contact with him. It feels like emotional cheating. Her eyes narrowed. Emotional cheating? Wow, Alex. That's dramatic. I'm not cutting off my ex just because you're insecure. People can be friends after dating. Grow up. That line hit like a gut punch. I'd sacrificed promotions, stability, all for her comfort, and now I was the insecure one? I sat there, staring at my plate, feeling the weight of those 3 declined offers. But I didn't argue. Not yet. Instead, I nodded slowly. Fair point. And in that moment, something shifted. I excused myself, went to the bedroom, and replied to the email. Accepted. Start date in 2 months. No fanfare, no announcement. Just a quiet decision to stop being her backup plan. The next few weeks were a slow unraveling. Emily acted like nothing happened, still texting Jake openly, posting vague stories about cherishing old connections. I kept my acceptance under wraps, tying up loose ends at work, subletting the apartment discreetly. Internally, I was a mess, replaying every sacrifice, every time I put her first. Why had I declined Amsterdam 3 times? For someone who saw me as predictable? The confusion gnawed at me during long walks alone, staring at the city lights, wondering if I'd wasted years on a one-sided love. But I didn't lash out. I just detached, packed boxes in silence while she was out, focused on the logistics of the move. It was like watching a movie of my own life. Realizing the plot twist was me finally choosing myself. Things came to a head one evening about a month before my move date. Emily had been distant, spending more time out with friends. Code for Jake, I suspected. I'd seen her liking his posts again, ones where he was tagged at bars with other women, looking smug. That night, she came home late, a bit tipsy, and plopped down on the couch with a sigh. We need to talk, Alex. I knew what was coming. I sat across from her, calm as ever. Okay, what's up? She fiddled with her phone, avoiding my eyes. This isn't working. You're suffocating me with all this jealousy stuff. Jake and I are just friends, but you keep making it a thing. I need space to figure out what I want. Space. Right. What you want. Like with Jake. She rolled her eyes, that smug smirk creeping in. See? There it is again. Insecure Alex. Jake gets me. He's fun, spontaneous. We talk about real stuff without all the judgment. You're always so safe. Planning everything. Turning down adventures like that Amsterdam thing because you're scared of change. I almost laughed at the irony, but I held it in. I turned it down for you, Emily. 3 times. She waved it off dismissively. Whatever. The point is, I deserve someone who matches my energy. Jake's not perfect, but at least he doesn't clip my wings. I'm not saying I'm running back to him, but yeah, we're hanging out more. It's platonic, mostly. But you? You're holding me back. Her words were like knives, twisted with that entitled logic. So, you're choosing his friendship over us? God, why does it have to be a choice? But if you're forcing it, then yes. I'm not cutting him off just because you're threatened. That's manipulative, Alex. If you trusted me, this wouldn't be an issue. Manipulative? From the woman who'd guilt me into staying put while flirting with her ex? She leaned back, crossing her arms, looking so sure of herself. I think we should take a break. Maybe permanent. I'll crash at a friend's tonight. Give you time to think about how controlling you've been. I didn't beg, didn't raise my voice, just looked at her steadily. Fair point. If that's what you want, go ahead. She blinked, like she expected a fight. Wait, that's it. No, please stay. You're just okay with this. What do you want me to say, Emily? You've made your choice clear. She huffed, grabbing her bag. Fine. Whatever. You'll regret this when you realize no one's putting up with your boring routine. And with that, she stormed out, slamming the door. I heard her muttering something about finally free as she left. Alone in the apartment, the silence hit hard. I poured a drink, sat on the balcony, and let the unfairness wash over me. Years of loyalty, dismissed as controlling. Sacrifices thrown back in my face. Part of me wanted to call her, explain the Amsterdam thing, make her see what she'd lost. But no, that would be begging, and I was done. Instead, I texted my boss, "Move is on. Wrapping up here." Then I blocked her number, not out of spite, but to protect my peace. The next day, I listed the apartment fully, packed the rest of my stuff, and started saying quiet goodbyes to friends. No drama, no social media rants, just forward motion. But the confusion lingered. Nights staring at the ceiling, replaying her justifications. How had her platonic friendship turned into this? Was I really the insecure one, or had she been manipulating me all along? It felt outrageous, undeserved after everything I'd given. I journaled a bit, talked to a therapist friend anonymously. "You're not crazy," he said. "That's classic emotional abandonment." It helped, but the pain was real. I let it breathe, didn't rush to get over it. Amsterdam loomed like a lifeline, a chance to rebuild from the ashes of her betrayal. I didn't disappear overnight. It took planning. With the move 2 weeks away, I focused on tying up loose ends. Shipped my essentials ahead, handed off projects at work, even hit the gym more to clear my head. Internally, the shift was happening, from vulnerable and questioning everything to a quiet resolve. This is my life, I tell myself in the mirror. Not hers to dictate anymore. Emily tried reaching out a couple days after the breakup, probably expecting me to chase. A text from a mutual friend's phone. "Hey, it's Em. My phone's acting up. Can we talk?" I didn't mean for things to end like that. I didn't respond. Then an email. "Alex, come on. You're being childish. Let's meet and sort this out maturely." Still nothing from me. I was done engaging. Word got around through friends. One messaged me. "Dude, Emily's telling everyone you overreacted about Jake. Says you're ghosting her out of spite. Let her spin it." I kept my responses neutral. We wanted different things. Wish her well. No bad-mouthing. No details about Amsterdam. That was mine. The day before my flight, I handed the keys to the new tenant, a quiet grad student I'd found through a listing. "Place is yours now. Good luck." He nodded, oblivious to the backstory. I crashed at a hotel near the airport, feeling a mix of nerves and freedom. For the first time in years, I wasn't planning around someone else. Landing in Amsterdam was surreal. The canals, the bikes everywhere, the fresh start. My new team welcomed me with open arms, dinners out, tips on neighborhoods. The job? Challenging but rewarding, diving into projects I'd only dreamed of back home. I rented a cozy apartment overlooking a park, started exploring museums on weekends, even picked up some Dutch phrases. The confusion faded into clarity. I'd been holding myself back for her. Now I was free. Friends back home kept me loosely updated, though I didn't pry. Emily's hanging with Jake a lot now. Seems official. Good for them. I thought genuinely, at first. But as weeks turned to months, my internal voice strengthened. No more what-ifs. Just gratitude for the push I needed. That's when karma started rolling in, slow at first, then like a freight train. I didn't seek it out, didn't stalk her socials, or pump friends for info. But bits trickled through mutuals who felt bad keeping it from me. About a month into my Amsterdam life, a buddy from back home messaged, "Hey man, thought you should know. Emily and Jake are a thing now. She's posting pics of them at some festival, looking all loved up." I chuckled at my desk, sipping coffee, overlooking the canals. Predictable, indeed. But the shine wore off quick. Turns out Jake's adventurous side came with baggage. From what I pieced together via sporadic updates, he was drowning in debt, credit cards maxed from those spontaneous trips, no steady job beyond gig work. Emily, fresh off our breakup, quit her marketing role impulsively to join him on the road, dreaming of that travel blog life she'd gushed about. Bad move. They bounced around for a bit, her funding most of it from savings I'd helped her build. Friends started distancing. Our mutual circle saw through her spin, especially after one overheard her trash-talking me at a gathering. Alex was too safe. Jake's real passion. Then the cracks showed. Jake got volatile during a trip, arguments over money, him flirting with others right in front of her. She confided in a friend who related. Emily's a mess. Jake bailed on her in some random town, left her with the hotel bill. Said he needed space, Sound familiar? Irony at its finest. She scrambled back home, jobless, dipping into credit just to cover rent. Her social media shifted from smug couple shots to vague posts about growth through pain and learning from mistakes. One mutual said her family was fed up too. Her sister, always the enabler, even admitted, M's spiraling. Jake used her and ghosted. Professionally, it tanked. Without her network, which I'd helped cultivate, landing gigs proved tough. She applied to a few places but got rejections. Word was, her abrupt quit raised red flags. Isolation set in. Friends who defended her freedom now sided with the truth. She'd emotionally ditched a good guy for a flake. One update hit particularly hard for her. A former colleague mentioned my Amsterdam move in a group chat she was still in. Alex is killing it overseas. Senior role, traveling Europe on weekends. Her response? Radio silence, then unfollows all around. I didn't gloat. Didn't need to. Sitting in my new apartment, hosting a small dinner with coworkers, I felt the reversal. Her downfall wasn't some dramatic explosion. It was realistic, earned from her choices. Broke, alone, reputation frayed. Meanwhile, I was thriving. Promotion talks at work, weekend trips to Paris, even dipping into dating apps casually. No serious attachments yet, but the freedom? Liberating. Karma didn't just hit. It highlighted how far I'd come from that predictable label. She discarded me like a safety net, only to find the ground rushing up. Her attempts to crawl back started subtle, then snowballed into desperation. First, about 3 months post-move, an email slipped through. My work one, since I'd blocked her personal. Alex, hey, heard you're in Amsterdam now. That's wow. Congrats, I guess. Look, I know things ended badly, but I miss talking. Jake was a mistake. He's not who I thought. Can we chat? Just as friends. I read it at a cafe, bike traffic buzzing outside. No sympathy stirred. She'd called me insecure for wanting boundaries. Yet here she was. After her spontaneous fling imploded. I archived it without replying. Next came texts from unknown numbers. Burners, probably. It's Emily. Please don't ignore me. I messed up big time. Jake turned out abusive, controlling. He isolated me from everyone. Sound familiar? Wait, no, that was unfair. But I see now how good you were. Escalation hit with calls. Voicemails piled up. Alex, pick up. I'm sorry for everything. I was smug, dismissive. You didn't deserve that. Let's meet. I could visit Amsterdam? We had something real. Her tone shifted from apologetic to pleading. One night, a longer message. Why are you being so cold? I thought you were better than this. Jake left me broke, alone. My family's worried. At least respond so I know you're okay. Ah, the family. That's when her toxic crew jumped in. Her sister, Lisa, always the unpleasant meddler, DM'd me on social. Hey, jerk. Emily's crying nonstop because of you. She made one mistake, and you're ghosting like a coward? Grow a pair and talk to her. She deserves closure. Then her mom called from a withheld number, voice dripping guilt. Alex, honey, I know she hurt you, but family's family. Emily's unraveling. Lost her job, no friends left. Be the bigger person. Come on, for old time's sake. I didn't engage. Blocked where I could, deleted the rest. But she amped it up. Angry face kicked in after a week of silence. Another voicemail. Fine, ignore me. But you're heartless, Alex. I bet you're loving this. Me begging while you're off playing expat. Jake was right. You're boring and vindictive. How dare you just vanish? Hypocrisy on full display, accusing me of what she'd done. She even roped in a mutual friend. Dude, Emily's harassing me to reach you. Says you owe her an explanation. Her sister's calling you names behind your back. This is getting messy. Through it all, I stayed detached. No, I'm sorry to hear that, or sympathy. Internally, it confirmed everything. Her true colors shining when things didn't go her way. Desperate texts turned frantic. Please, Alex. I need help. I'm in debt. Might lose my place. Remember when you covered my rent? Just talk to me. Power reversal clear. The one who'd smugly walked out now powerless, grasping at ghosts. The final nail came at an unexpected spot. A mutual friend's wedding back home. I'd flown in for it. First trip stateside in 6 months. Kept it low-key, but word spread. The event was at a quaint venue outside the city, string lights, and laughter everywhere. I was chatting with old pals, suit sharp, Amsterdam glow on me, tan from bike rides, stories of canal cruises drawing smiles. Then I spotted her, Emily, disheveled in a rumpled dress, eyes puffy like she'd been crying. Our friend must have invited her, oblivious or manipulative, didn't matter. She cornered me by the bar during cocktail hour, voice shaky but insistent. Alex, you're here. God, you look good. Successful. I flew back early when I heard. We need to talk. I sipped my drink, calm as ever. No emotional pull. Emily, this isn't the place. Please, she begged, glancing around like she feared judgment. I was wrong. Jake was a disaster. He cheated, drained my savings, left me isolated. My job hunt's failing. Friends ghosted after hearing the full story. I see now you were my rock. I threw it away because I was stupid, chasing excitement. Come back. Or let me visit Amsterdam. We can start over. Her hypocrisy hung thick. Now she wanted the safe life she'd mocked. I set my glass down, voice steady, detached like closing a file. You've said your piece. But that chapter's closed. I've built something here. New role, new city, new perspective. You're not part of it anymore. She teared up, anger flickering. That's it. After everything, you're just done? I begged Alex. My family's furious with you. Lisa says you're cruel. Tell them hi. I said flatly, no bite, just fact. But their opinions don't matter. Neither do yours, honestly. I've moved on, literally and figuratively. You're irrelevant to my happiness now. She stared, realizing the reversal. Me thriving, her desperate, roles flipped. Guests nearby whispered, her failure on display against my quiet success. She muttered, you'll regret this, but turned away, shoulders slumped. I rejoined the group, toasting the bride, free, evolved, her a fading echo. Back in Amsterdam, life hummed on. Promotion sealed, dates turning promising, zero backward glances. Karma delivered. I just accepted the upgrade. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.